Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim there where the sense can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. We did it. 1,000 subscribers we hit yesterday. I appreciate you guys more than you know. I'm going to keep grinding this channel, keep putting out content. Let's keep growing this community and just have fun, enjoy a lot of Ravens football, enjoy talking about Ravens football, and just enjoy life. So I appreciate you guys supporting the channel and taking this ride with me, and we're just getting warmed up. So let's get into it. So Justin Houston signed a 1-year, $6 million guaranteed deal with the Panthers, up to $7 million in incentives. And this one sucks. This one stings a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I think I assumed, and maybe the fan base as well, we assumed to a fault that the Ravens really wanted to bring Justin Houston back and that he would be pretty cheap again. Because last year we signed him for, it was a 1-year, $3.5 million guaranteed deal. Now, he did produce for us last year, so, I understand why a team sees his value for sure, and that's why we all wanted him, right? But I didn't think he'd get double what he made last year, but I kind of understand. He's taking a paycheck for sure. But I definitely thought he would come back to Baltimore, and maybe he would have. Maybe it's the Ravens who weren't interested. It seems like they're not trying to bring back a lot of former, older, aging vets. We released Calais Campbell. We let Marcus Peters go without even offering him a contract. It seems like we let Justin Houston go without even offering a contract. I saw Jeff Zrebiec said the Ravens just weren't aggressive at all towards getting Justin Houston. It kind of didn't seem like that was the fit that they were looking for, and they're probably headed in a different direction. Now, that different direction is, in my opinion, going to be Kyle Van Noy still. I think that he's going to play a whole different role than Justin Houston would. Kyle Van Noy is a lot more versatile, not just a pure pass rusher. He kind of can drop in coverage and play more of a Sam linebacker like Tyus Bowser. So if it's one or the other, I think a Kyle Van Noy signing does make more sense just because Tyus Bowser's dealing with injuries right now and hasn't practiced at all. And last time we saw him limping into the facility, it didn't look great. It looked like he may miss some time. So a signing like Kyle Van Noy would be great because that gives depth at a position that we're already injured at. And then Tyus can kind of take his time and make sure he's healthy. And then we have Tyus and Kyle Van Noy to rotate and play that Sam linebacker role. And I love that. I love that option. And I've always wanted Kyle Van Noy. I just also wanted Justin Houston to provide some third down pass rushing and some rotational depth, maybe to relieve Owe or Ajabo in certain situations if, Justin Houston comes in and gets to the passer. But at this point, it seems like the team fully believes in Odafe Owe and David Ajabo, at least for now, right? They're going to let them shine and let them get all the opportunities in the world. If they're not performing, a couple games into the season or before the trade deadline, you could always go make another move. Somebody might get cut. You can go sign somebody. There's a bunch of options. And there's also still a few veteran edge guys available, pass rushers. So, Jadeveon Clowney's a name that keeps getting tossed around, and Melvin Ingram and Dunlap, and there's a couple guys still available, so they still have options. But I did think Justin Houston would be back, so it is kind of a bummer. But I don't think signing or not signing Justin Houston is going to make or break our team. Odafe Owe and David Ajabo are going to make or break our pass rush, and they just got to stay healthy and perform. And I believe they definitely can. I just want as much security as possible, obviously, you know what I mean? When we talk about adding these guys, it's to build out that dream roster. It's to build out the deepest possible roster so that you can afford an injury here and there, because an injury will happen here and there. There's no way that a team goes through the season fully healthy, no injuries at all. So I want to add as much depth as possible. And I'm not saying that those moves are done, but Justin Houston coming back to Baltimore that agenda is done. So we got to move on, and hopefully we do sign Kyle Van Noy. I think that's the perfect fit. It's just a different fit than Justin Houston would have been. So there still may be another move to be made, or the team is pushing all their chips into David Ojabo and Odafe Owe, and I think I'm all right with that too. There's a lot of reports floating around, and the national media is all over it today that the Ravens offense struggled on Saturday, and Lamar threw 4 interceptions, and everyone's thinking that they might be overhyping the offense or that this offense isn't going to be as good as we think it is and blah, blah, blah. I think it's all ridiculous. Isaiah Likely kind of put it to bed, in my opinion, when he said that they were working on 3rd and long the whole time and the defense was clearly at an advantage. And it's a brand new offense. I'll keep saying that over and over again. I'm not expecting greatness. I don't even expect greatness week 1. I think we'll be way, way better week 1 than we are today. But I'm not expecting this offense to hit full stride until probably later in the regular season. And we're still going to add Rashad Bateman and J.K. Dobbins. So, I mean, there's more weapons coming. But regardless, the early struggles are because of chemistry with new weapons and learning a new scheme, a completely new scheme. Todd Monken hit the podium last week, and he was like, we're not very good right now, but we're on our way. But that's okay. That's not a problem. You know what I mean? Some people act like the house is burning down here, and it's just overreaction, all right? And the national media is having an overreaction Monday, or they need something else to talk about. I don't know. But we can put that narrative to bed. And that practice specifically was a lot of 3rd and longs and against a really good defense. So it's always an uphill battle when you're at 3rd and long. If you have the greatest offense in the league, it's difficult to convert 3rd and longs consistently. You may get a few of them, but you probably force a lot of throws and obviously throw a lot of picks as that's what happened. I think 9 interceptions were thrown and Lamar had 4 of them. I don't care. It's a 3rd and long drill, and this offense is new. So let's give it time. Let's let it play out over these next few weeks. We're only a little over halfway through training camp. We have another half of training camp, and then another week of practice, and then the regular season. So we still have a little over a month to nail this thing in, and I don't think the offense has looked bad throughout all the practices. Like, that practice was reported to be really bad because of all the interceptions and everything, but that was a lot of 3rd and long drills. What happens when we're just driving the ball normally? You know what I mean? And we're not putting ourselves in 3rd and long positions. The offense has already shown flashes in training camp. Lamar's connection to Zay Flowers and Odell has already flashed in training camp, and Nelson Aguilar, and the run game's probably not as strong as it will be in the regular season. I mean, there's just so many factors to why the offense may struggle, and I expect the defense to be dominating right now, to be honest with you. Still, most of the defensive personnel is coming back from last year, and Mike McDonald is still the coordinator, so they have a familiarity there. And the defense is filled with a bunch of ballers. So I expect early success from the defense, and I expect the defense to edge the offense the majority of camp. I'm not concerned one bit. This offense has a ton of weapons. I think Todd Monken's scheme and him personally as a play caller, he's the right guy for the job, just based off of what he's done in previous teams and the quality of his pass game. And then you got Lamar Jackson leading the entire offensive unit, and I just trust that he's going to make the right plays. I know he got frustrated in practice and threw his helmet down and punted the ball, but that's just a competitor, right? That's just a struggle. You got 3rd and long situations and you can't convert and you're throwing interceptions and, it's just not working out. The offense isn't gelling. You're getting frustrated. That's just a competitor inside of them. I have no problem with that. If they weren't pissed off that things weren't going well and they acted like everything was just good and everything will work out and it's no problem, then I'd be a little concerned. You know what I mean? I like that fiery competitiveness, and I think this team is full of guys like that. And that's what we need. We need that fire. We need that competitiveness. If Lamar, the offensive unit's not having a good practice and he's frustrated, I mean, maybe don't punt a football in a regular game, right? Because we're going to get a penalty. But I'm just saying, I'm okay with him being frustrated. I don't think that's a problem at all. And I don't think that this offense has any cause for concern. Let's see how it plays out first and watch this offense improve. You got to trust in these guys. I trust in Todd Monken, and I trust in Lamar Jackson. I trust in John Harbaugh to make sure that the ship is steered in the right direction and that we're going to do the right thing. So I'm not worried at all about any struggles in practice. That's how it goes, up and down. You know what I mean? There'll be another training camp practice probably this week where the offense starts really lighting up the defense for a practice. I mean, it's just going to happen that way. I would expect the defense to win the majority of the practices just because they know each other. They're familiar with the defense inside and out. The offense is still thinking, and that's okay. We're only halfway through training camp, so let's see how it plays out. Another player that just keeps flashing and keeps getting talked about on offense is Keaton Mitchell, undrafted rookie. He's showing out, and I think he could find a spot on this team, mainly on special teams. He's quick, he's fast, he's explosive, he's making plays out there. He can get involved in the pass game. I don't know how much, once J.K. Dobbins is back, how much of a role he's going to have in the running back rotation. But if he does make the active roster for special teams, then I'm sure they will use him, 5 plays or less type thing in the running back rotation. So he might get a couple looks, and if he keeps making plays, I mean, all he needs is the opportunity then, right? We still got to see how the preseason plays out as well. So right now it might be a little bit of an overhyped train. I want to see him in the preseason for 3 weeks. I know he's going to play a lot. He's going to play all 3 games. So we'll get to get a better idea of what he's doing on the field. But it seems like he's making a name for himself in practice, and it would not surprise me if he ends up sneaking his way into this roster, just becoming another undrafted rookie free agent that the Ravens put on their active roster. It happens pretty often. We're one of the teams that consistently puts undrafted rookies on our roster. So we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, I think we'll know a lot more in the preseason. And speaking of the preseason, first game is this Saturday. So we finally have some real Ravens football. And I can't wait to see a lot of these guys. I don't expect a lot of starters to play, but we'll see. But either way, I love getting a better look at all of our depth guys, our rookies, and just seeing who shines, you know what I mean? Who shows up and consistently makes plays throughout the preseason. It's always exciting to kind of see what you have, and when you get into a game-like environment, how these players react. I'm going to do a preview show for the preseason game later this week, and do a little contest giveaway for you guys just for hitting the 1,000 subscribers and stuff. I think I'll keep that up throughout the entire preseason and regular season each week. Somewhere in the preview show, I'll just ask a question, probably like a specific yards number or something like that where it'd be kind of hard to get. And then you guys can just answer for free, and I'll shoot you guys some Cash App or Venmo or whatever, whoever gets the answer right. So, but we'll talk about that later in the week. But I just thought of that, and I think that'd be a really fun and cool thing to do each week, and a good way for me to give back to you guys even more for supporting the channel. So I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for getting to 1,000 subscribers this fast, too. I never expected 1,000 subscribers in 2.5 months in the off season, right? Like, I started the channel 2.5 months ago, and I was like, all right, this year, hopefully, I can maybe get the channel monetized or something, and that'd be really cool. And it's grown way faster than I ever could imagine. The season's not even here yet, and we're already at 1,000 and growing faster and faster. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.